U.S. men's national team roster release, getting set for Gold Cup. Of course, the big story was who was not there in Christian Pulisic for sure. And before we get into our first guest and a very important night, I did want to get your thoughts on how that went down with Christian Pulisic withdrawing from this camp, this window here, the way it happened, the way it seemed like U.S. Soccer made sure that it was on Pulisic and his team in terms of what happened. What do you make of all that? Are we making too much of a player at the end of a long European season, or do you think there's something to be said for him showing up a year out from 2026?
I think how Gold Cup plays out will answer that question. I think especially on the offensive side of the ball, if the U.S. men's national team is lacking maybe that slight edge that they typically have when Pulisic is in the group, then a lot of people are going to be saying in retrospect, this was something that he should have made himself available for and should have shown up for. But then at the end of the day, what I always look for is whenever there's maybe the marquee couple of guys that aren't there, whether it's injury, whether it's unavailability for whatever reason, or the choice in this case, it brings opportunity for other players. So you have a pool for a reason. You're playing in a multitude of competitions, and that typically lends for a different blend of players being called in for different competitions. And we've known for years on end that Gold Cup oftentimes is the group of players that maybe isn't always the first choice World Cup for sure squad. So yeah, I know a lot of people are upset that Pulisic elected not to go to Gold Cup, but for me, it's about what does the collective do now that, quote unquote, Captain America has elected not to go.
I agree with you. I think it's plenty of opportunities for everyone. And in so many ways, we know what we can expect, what the return will be from him in a big tournament. Do we know that about everyone else? So I'm a big believer, as you are. It's all about a proven ground as well. But that certainly was a big, big story. And even some of the politics or some of the narrative around even how it went down was very interesting. But nonetheless, the 2025 summer is here, and it'll be very exciting to see those players who do make the most of their opportunity, how they force themselves into the 2026 World Cup roster picture.
Take a look, I'm shining. Moonwalk, keep both feet gliding. I'm up now, great timing. When I was down, was you riding for me? When I was down, was you riding for me? Was you riding for me?